Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills, because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with KD Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's KD Smooth coming back at you with a new report. I pray you all are doing well. Shalom, family. In today's report, I want to see if you all have heard of this on your screen. Police station inside of Walmart.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
Yeah. Police station is being placed inside of Walmart. You didn't hear about it? KD Smooth got you. All right. This story comes out of Atlanta. Okay? But here at One Brothas Mind, I believe this is going to begin or be the start of a trend across the country. So it may not be in your neighborhood today, but most likely it will be soon. Okay. So just before we get started, family, if you appreciate our content here at One Brothas Mind, smash the likes button, smash the like button, share this report on all your social media with all your peoples, and be sure to be subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we try to bring you the information and facts you need. Okay. To begin, I'm gonna share with you guys a brief clip, a news report on a police station being installed inside of Walmart in Atlanta. Okay, and then we're gonna come back right after that report and chop it up on what we just heard. Here we go.
Well, shoppers at one Atlanta Walmart could see an extra police presence starting next year, but it's a bit different than adding officers on patrol.
Yeah, so Atlanta police are opening a so-called workspace actually inside one of these Wally Worlds.
Okay. They're trying to use those trickeration words. It's a police station. It's not just a workspace. They're trying to downplay it. They are putting police officers at a station, a designated location inside of a Walmart. Okay? I don't care whatever trickeration words they trying to use. They're putting cops, race soldiers inside of a Walmart in Atlanta. Here we go.
News Station business contributor and New York Post reporter Lydia Moynihan joins us now. Lydia, I have a feeling I know what this is all about, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. What is the reasoning behind putting police in this specific store?
Well, I think we can all guess it. And for context, this is after an arson targeted Walmart earlier this year. They set fire to part of the store in the hopes that that would distract security from them stealing a bunch of goods. So after that whole incident, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon thought, do I want to continue to throw good money after bad?
Okay, real quick. let's use the example that she just gave about something that actually did happen. Someone set fire on one side of a Walmart store, and then in hopes that would distract security, and then they went to the other side of the store and started shopping without paying. Let's say that. Okay. Would police officers inside of that store, if they were there when that happened live, would they have been able to prevent the fire from being set, or prevent the person that set the fire from shopping without paying? Go ahead. I'll wait. I'm listening. Because just like the Walmart security, they went to address the fire, so would the police officers have done the same if they were in the same situation. Okay? They would have went to address the fire situation first. The thought would not have been automatically on their mind as far as, hey, this might be a good opportunity while we're over here for somebody to be, get back on the door, Now that this has happened, they may think about it, this situation, but initially, no. They're going to respond to whatever the immediate circumstance is, whether it's a real circumstance or a distraction, right? So to put a police station inside the Walmart, is my point, would not have prevented the fire or the shopping without paying that occurred shortly thereafter. It wouldn't have prevented either one. Okay, let's continue.
Invest in a store that's riddled with crime. So the Atlanta mayor swooped in and said, you know what? We are going to install a miniature police precinct inside this Walmart in order to hopefully tamp down on rampant crime, which now is not just theft, also arson. And Walmart decided that was good enough for them to rebuild the store. So they will rebuild and reopen with that miniature police precinct inside the store in May. But pretty dramatic that that's essentially what the mayor had to promise for them to feel comfortable operating in that part of town. And obviously not really a scalable solution. I don't think every store can have a miniature police precinct inside of it.
Exactly. And especially, I know a lot of small businesses who have dealt with the same smash and grabs are applauding them, but also wishing they could afford that kind of constant security too. And just crunching the numbers, Lydia, Walmart's most recent quarterly earnings showed a nearly 6% increase in revenue, more than $110 billion in sales. So how much is shoplifting actually affecting Walmart?
Okay. Did you hear that, fam? I'm going to rewind it just for a second. Couple seconds there. Listen to this one more time. Here we go.
Dollars in sales. So how much is shoplifting actually?
All there. Let me get it a little bit more.
The numbers, Lydia, Walmart's most recent quarterly earnings showed a nearly 6% increase in revenue, more than $110 billion.
A 6% increase in revenue that Walmart earnings has shown. So just as she asked, how much really theft is really happening? How much are they really losing if they're showing a 6% increase in profit, in revenue? Yeah. She actually exposed the whole scam of this. Is theft happening? Yes. Has it increased? Yes. But it is not at a scale to where it's significantly hurting Walmart's business. But let's continue.
In sales. So how much is shoplifting actually affecting Walmart and their bottom line?
So they were hit with about $3 billion in so-called shrinkage, basically theft last year. And I want to note this, of course, is an issue all across the U.S., hit a record high of almost $100 billion in theft last year alone. And as you mentioned, yeah, obviously Walmart has the sort of global and national scale to.
Now, you notice the answer that this lady is giving, she's giving national answers. That a 6% increase in revenue and profit nationally. But then she's turning around going, okay, well, here's the numbers on the theft level nationally. They're not addressing whether or not or what the numbers are on theft at this specific location in Atlanta. You see how they just walked all the way around that corner and kept going? So they're not answering the question of whether or not a police presence or a police station is actually the answer for this particular store in Atlanta. They're using national numbers to justify, if you will, a police station in the Atlanta Walmart store. Let's continue.
To leverage their business and get a mayor to say, we'll install a police precinct inside of your business. But most mom and pop shops are facing very similar issues. They're also facing theft, and they don't have those kind of resources to leverage and get a mayor to make concessions like to them. So this is clearly an issue. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but not a scalable solution at all.
Lydia, less than 30 seconds before we have to wrap here, but has there been pushback from taxpayers? Because these are tax dollars going into a privately owned company.
That's a great point. I've got to imagine that will continue to be an issue. I think people are just learning first time, so I think we'll see what that reaction is to come. I mean, that is what the police do, I think, for that community.
In other words, she doesn't have an answer for his question. These are taxpayer dollars being given to Walmart, or let's say this, even more taxpayer dollars being given to Walmart. Taxes that the residents in this particular Walmart's in Atlanta's community that they're paying, and they're basically paying for their own oppression while shopping. Do you see that? It would be different if Walmart saying, we're going to hire actual police officers and give them a station in our thing. And we're, if Walmart is the one paying that cost. But no, the mayor made a deal with Walmart and said, we'll give you tax money to help pay or to pay for this police station that we're agreeing for y'all to put inside of this particular location. Now, some of you may say, well, why would the mayor agree to that? Right? Well, for many of us, especially those of us in so-called Black communities, in many places across the country, in many cities, the Walmart is literally there's like one Walmart that is the only grocery store option within 20, 30 miles or more in an area. So basically, there's a food desert, and the only thing that is available is the particular Walmart to go get groceries. And in this situation, potentially, if that Walmart closes, which they did close it, claimed it was for remodeling, which was a lie. They were working this deal out. But if that Walmart closes, the residents in this community, they have to go even further away from home trying to find access to groceries and food. maybe 50, 60 miles or more. Do you see that? So the mayor, in one sense, is thinking, well, as mayor, I have to do something to try to keep or get this Walmart, this grocery store to open again so that our residents have at least one option for groceries in this area. So it's just not a total 50, 60, 70 mile food desert. Okay? So the mayor is thinking, well, this is a good thing because I'm making sure there's not as big of a food desert. But we're doing that with taxpayers' money. And I'm going to show you specifically the money they're using. And it will be unbelievable. But yeah, that's what's going on here in Atlanta. This story just recently came out in the last couple days here. A lot of you guys may not have heard of it yet, but yeah, they're reopening this specific Walmart, but this time they're putting a police station in. They're trying to use all kind of trickeration, smooth over words to make it sound like it ain't all that, but yeah, that's what it is. So let me get this straight. Let's get this straight. In addition to what's on your screen, you go to Walmart, let's start at the top left corner, and they're forcing you most of the times during the day because they refuse to open up enough checkout lines. So they're literally forcing customers to go through the self-checkout and literally do their job, ringing up what you're buying, your groceries, your food, for free. They're forcing you, the customer, to do their job, okay? By not opening up enough regular checkout lines. That's number one. In addition to that, while you're in the middle of the top middle, while you're going through the self-checkout line, you're under AI video surveillance. That's what that screen is just above that cash register. And there's the sign that tells you you're being video recorded as you self-checkout. That's a part of their so-called theft deterrent system. Okay, but I didn't agree to that. But I mean, it used to be places would video record you and you didn't know where the cameras was. You just kind of knew it was, but now it's right in front of your face and they're showing you your live stream as you're checking out, doing their job that you're not being paid for. Then when you turn around, you've scanned and paid for all your items, you put them in your basket, you go to leave this so-called store, they got more people standing in front of the exit doors talking about, I need to scan some of your items to make sure you pay for them. Well, I have my receipt. Here, you can have my receipt. No, I have to scan your items in your basket. So in addition to all of that, they also have, we're on the bottom left corner now where the red circle is. They also have the barcode readers as you exit the door. In case there's a barcode, supposedly, that you didn't scan, these barcode readers are supposed to sound the alarm and alert and alert the staff, say, hey, there's something here, there's an item in here that wasn't scanned or wasn't paid for. Check this customer's thing. In addition to all of those things, now you got, in this store in Atlanta, race soldiers with a police station in the store. And this is the view that you're going to have when you go into Walmart. When you're in a particular aisle, shopping, minding your own business, they're now going to be authorized to do everything and pretty much anything they want. They can follow you around. They can, even though you're already on video recording on camera, they're going to physically be following people around, following our kids around, harassing us. Again, this is in one store in Atlanta. And you know it's a so-called black neighborhood. And if you have anything to say, if they dream, if they literally, while following you around, they have a daydream that you said something or you're doing something that they don't like, this will be you or your children or our kids in the image on the bottom right hand side. Why? Well, one, they're so-called police officers. They have a whole different set of authorization of responses that they can utilize that regular Walmart security cannot. Do you see the difference? Literally, these police officers are armed, so they literally are authorized to use deadly force, right? But with them being placed inside Walmart, what's happening is they're being authorized to use deadly force against people, so-called black people, y'all, inside of Walmart. Okay. Some of y'all going, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I know it's a lot. You got to let it really sink in and marinate like neck bone juice, what they are doing. Okay? Because as you've seen, many of y'all have seen across the country, in many cities and most cities, the laws have been changed to where for someone going inside of a store and they're shopping without paying and leaving the store, initially what was happening, the store security so-called officers were attacking, beating, maiming, hurting, and even several of them were shooting people and deleting people who lit over. Okay, they may have walked out the door with some laundry detergent or some makeup or what have you. And this was becoming a regular thing. And so many protests and people were in resistance to this. And they was like, okay, yes, if somebody is shopping without paying and they're exiting the store, is that justification for their life to be ended? Is that the punishment? Is that what we doing? At worst, they should be being apprehended, just arrested. Grab. Can you step over here, ma'am, sir? Grab a hold of them. Oh, just trying to run. Grab them. You grab them. You bring them to the ground. But for most of the so-called security officers in stores around the country, they want to be cops. That's what they are. They're wannabe cops. That, for many of them, is their opportunity to beat down and or delete one of us. So they were taking advantage of that. They were using that going, hey, and then they tried to use some of them, the same satanic lies. Well, I was in fear for my life. Well, you wouldn't have been if you didn't grab them and start to tussle with them. Your life would, over some Snicker bars or whatever it was. So because of that trend, many stores and cities across the country passed laws that says, no, you cannot. You can document it, if you can follow them out, get the license plate number. You can do non-forceful, non-harming things. You can call the police. You can do all those things, but you cannot literally physically grab and attack the person that is shopping without paying. Okay? So then, y'all done seen the videos, once they pass them laws, people been walking in stores with their own shopping bags, just filling them up, looking at security, how you doing? And waving at them, how you doing? Walking right out. And the security officer just standing there like, but we can't even do nothing. It's, again, when you're dealing with idiot or insane people, they are unable or unable of using or implementing a measured response. It's either no response to them or we got to delete you. Pow, pow. No. It's supposed to be a measured response, whether it's the security of the store or actual police officers. Everything in that regard is supposed to be a measured response. The person that is shopping without paying, in most cases, they're not armed. So it doesn't require an armed response. That's not measured. But that's what's about to start happening, especially in this Walmart in Atlanta. Do you see that? So basically, family, what I'm saying here is this Walmart, the company, they're all over the country, and they say, okay, we can't violate the laws with our store security. So how about we do this? How about we just literally put some police officers or a police station inside of one of our stores? And because they're actual police officers, whatever they see people doing, shopping without paying, they have full state's authorizations to use any and all measures, including deadly force. And the state law doesn't apply where we can't stop people or whatever. Do you see what they're doing? So basically, it's the workaround to the state laws that were passed. And now they get to go back to not using a measured response in stopping theft because they're using actual police officers in a police station inside their store. So yeah, I mean, pause the video, take a look at all the crap that Walmart is in many stores are subjecting us to. Okay? It's a lot. And I get it. You got to try to stop theft. But you can do all this type of stuff, or you can actually address the root issue. Poverty, economic starvation. In every Walmart store that has high theft numbers, or any of the stores, many of those communities also have high and rising poverty rates. So the government, the city officials, the corporations like Walmart and others, they're profiting. Remember, she said Walmart had a 6% increase in revenue and profits so far. They're still profiting. They're still doing great business. But instead of addressing the root cause to why more people are trying to shop without paying, they want to do all this stuff and potentially delete people for stealing some grapes or a box of cereal or say a TV or whatever it is. Right? They want to unalive people for that. That's their answer. They'd rather do that than to address the root problem, which is the poverty and the economic starvation of the same taxpayers in these communities, which are mostly our communities, family. They rather keep starving us economically, which is putting us in a position, many of us, to where basically going into survival mode. And that's what the stores are one of the primary places where the things you need are there. Right? But again, they don't want to address what they are doing by increasing poverty and economically starving whole communities, especially so-called black communities. They don't want to do nothing about that. They don't want to change nothing about that. It's a part of the whole psychological program that's teaching, especially so-called black communities and black citizens, that we are in the process of reinstituting our slavery 2023 program and beyond. We are only going to provide you or y'all with extreme basic resources and money. Money's at a level that you cannot survive. You're not going to have nothing. You're not going to own nothing. You're not going to be able to build any wealth. Where every year goes by, we're tightening the stream of money. We're reducing how much money you have access to by increasing all the cost of everything, the rent, the housing prices, everything, but not increasing your money that you're receiving, that you're being paid for the same work that you've been doing. That's how they're doing it. It's an entire operation. Been going on for years. Or in other words, as I say all the time here at One Brothas Mind, slavery never ended, y'all. It was expanded. Okay? But this is what we doing. Matter of fact, there's even more. Let me show you one more quick clip. One more quick clip here. Literally, I went by a store in my city, and y'all, some of y'all have seen these as well. But here we go. Let me show you what the store in my city also is doing, in addition to all the previous things. Here you go. Well, even in Katie Smooth's area or city, they have a response for that. And you may have seen some of these in your area as well. But I got two really couple of second clips I want to share with you, two more. And if you haven't seen these in your area, they're coming. Here we go. Okay, y'all. The Walmart in the hood, this is what they're doing. Putting up these anti-theft cabinets. And then you got a big shop here. Get something. They ain't putting these up everywhere. Yeah. All right. I got one more quick clip. Let me get to it. There you go. Just a second. So, hold on. Let me get to this second little clip. These things are coming to your stores real soon. Okay? If you have not seen them in stores in your area, they're coming. With that, to an area or store near you in most places, especially in the areas where people, there's the largest collection of employees, slaves, that are only receiving pay just barely enough to pay for their basic needs, if not enough at all. So people are resorting to stealing. So the slave masters, the owners, and in this case, the store owners, the supply owners, they're putting everything behind locked cabinets. Now you got to come and ask them, can I get this bottle of lotion out of here, please? I want to buy that. Okay. Go up to the register. We'll bring it around. Or they'll open the cabinet. You want this one? Okay. Here's one. Close the cabinet, put the lock back on. Now you got one bottle of lotion. You can't come in there and they watch you take it up to the front register to pay for it too. Right? I got one more for you real quick.
Yeah, as I said.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Got one more for you. Got one more. Let me get to it here. All right, here we go. Some more cabinets.
Already got the cabinets put in for all the laundry supplies.
Yeah, this was,
You know, I kind of get it. You know, it was a lot.
this was a lane that had already, that same crew I showed you, they had already finished this first aisle and they were working on the second aisle.
Theft is increasing. They're economically starving the black community. So a lot of people are turning to stealing regular, everyday needed items to survive. So I get it. But, oh well.
There you have it, family. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. So basically, what they're putting together, and here's a point that I really want y'all to absorb. In this example, we're talking about grocery stores in this example. But when you look at what they're doing with grocery stores, schools, with armed teachers, of course, you got the federal and local government stuff that's in each city and state. You got the corporations, in this case, Walmart and many others that are coming. The actual race soldiers, HOAs, landlords. Basically, I've been telling people this for years. They're creating a society that is basically a borderless prison for most people, especially so-called black people. They're creating borderless prisons, right? And in this case, at the Walmart, with having police inside of it, with the security cabinets, the video surveillance, the barcode readers, everything they got going on, it's literally a prison without calling it a prison. It's a big prison with commissary in it. That's my point. Okay? And the only element that's missing at this point, once they are, as they put these police stations inside of stores, and more companies get on the bandwagon and start hiring officers to be their security, as opposed to having their own security force. The only element that's missing is requiring customers to put their money in an account up front and then come to the store with a list, and in some fashion or another identify the items from the store that you want as a customer commissary, and they go and get those items and hand them to you. Wait a minute, ain't they kind of doing that with the curbside shopping already? You basically buy your stuff up front, and then they pick your order, your commissary, and then bring it out to you. Borderless prisons. In this example, we're talking about grocery stores. Don't sleep on this one, family. Yeah. Katie Smooth gives you the analysis that most nobody else is giving y'all as to what's actually happening. When you put it all together, when you look at the whole program, that grocery stores, most big grocery stores, the only element that's missing from it literally fully functioning as a prison is requiring all customers to pay for their grocery list, if you will, up front, and then arrive at the door, and then the grocery staff bring your groceries out to you, or I'm sorry, your commissary out to you. That's the only element that's missing. While they sit here free with their freedoms and liberties as usual, you are one of the little fishies inside of the fish tank, not knowing you're in a prison or you're in a controlled area that's locked down that you basically can't get out of, because everything you do inside of that fish tank or borderless prison is being tracked, monitored, and controlled. And if you scream too hard, too loud, put up too much of a fuss, complain too hard, then you end up unalived by the race soldiers or beat down. Do y'all see that? This is what's happening. This is what's been happening. This is they've been planning this for a long time. And they just have been taking the time, implementing one step at a time. And each step they want to implement, they hire wordsmiths to trickerate the description and how they want to sell it to the public. We're not going to call it putting money on your books and coming to pick up your commissary. We're going to call it curbside shopping for convenience. Do you see that? All right, let's continue. So, with that being said, again, as they mentioned, the brother asked, like, hey, this is tax money. Yeah. In fact, the mayor in Atlanta also said that Walmart, they're basically giving Walmart some of the money, the city money that was recently approved for a $1.5 million initiative to expand fresh grocery access in low-income communities. So they got $1.5 million to bring more fresh grocery access into low-income communities. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to give Walmart a big chunk of this money, bump y'all fresh groceries to pay. We're going to give them a chunk of this same money to pay for the race soldier police officer stations and officers that they're going to have inside of the Walmart. More fresh grocery access in low-income communities, or race soldier police officers inside the grocery store. Somehow, healthy, fresh grocery access and help improve the health of the citizens in certain communities, that don't seem like that's a priority, does it? When they take a big chunk of that money and hand it to Walmart to pay for a security. Walmart got enough money. They pay for their own officers. But no, Walmart, they say, we're not opening this store back up unless y'all give us some incentive to. So the corporation is twisting the city or the mayor's arm, going, you got to give us something, make me happy. Make me happy. Well, if we give y'all some extra money, tax money, to help pay for the police officers. Walmart going, you might be on to something there. You see what's happening? They're doing these deals all the while. Definitely, there's going to be less fresh grocery access in low-income communities here in Atlanta because of it. And they're still economically starving most of these same communities. There's no jobs. There's no new businesses that are bringing family sustaining pay or salary jobs into these communities that are not full of poverty. I mean, it doesn't even, I know it's happening here in Indiana where Katie Smooth is, but it's happening in every state. If you look around the state you live in, if you watch the news and you see the reports of new companies, new plants and facilities that are being built and that are bringing jobs to the city or to the state, I guarantee you those locations are almost never happening in the most impoverished areas, the most impoverished community. Those facilities, those plants, those factories, those shipping, whatever it is, they're not. The land in the most impoverished communities oftentimes is the cheapest land that's available in the whole city or state. But that's not enough. The city officials, your mayor, your government, and all the other satanic fools, they are purposely making deals with companies and corporations to build and install new facilities, new plants, new warehouses, whatever, that are bringing jobs in the primarily suburban areas around the city or outside of the so-called black communities. Have you noticed that? They're almost always everywhere else, but they're not being put in the so-called black communities. There's reasons for that. One, that's what the city officials, the mayor, government, and all the so-called authorities, that's been their plan. That's what they've been doing the whole time. That's how they keep continuing the economic starvation of our communities. And two, the companies, the corporations that are building these facilities, when they call the mayor, the governors in these cities, they're going, we want to bring our new facility to your city, but off the record, mayor, governor, we want it to be in a predominantly white suburban area. We're not putting our facility around them. That's what's going on. That's what's been going on. Which is why I have a whole series here at One Brothas Mind YouTube channel where I explain this stuff titled Systematic White Supremacy. This is how they keep these things going. So our communities don't really get much development, much improvement, no infusion of new businesses, larger businesses that are bringing hundreds of jobs. That stuff don't happen in our community. But it's constantly happening all around the, should we say, red line areas? You remember the old red line maps? It's basically the same concept. They're making sure those new jobs are everywhere else but our communities, which is furthering the economic starvation. Which, as you do that, that's when you recognize that, you understand the plan, what's been going on for so long. This is all planned. It's not by accident. They're sitting back laughing as they lie and cheat. And then as you're moving further and further into poverty and you don't have enough to survive, and you start, for many of us, go into survival mode, then they want to, instead of fixing the poverty problem, instead of fixing the economic starvation problem, bringing jobs and wealth and resources into the poverty communities, they want to bring race soldiers in and put them in the police station in the Walmart. So when those of us that have gotten to a breaking point and have moved into survival mode, going, okay, I see, yeah, Katie Smooth, you're right. I see all this. We see what they doing. So we're going to start shopping without paying, just like they've always done. What's good for the goose is good for the gander is what many people that move into survival mode or survival mentality, that becomes their mindset. They're like, they realize it. They're not, people ain't dumb. It's so obvious what's happening and what they're doing that people are like, all right, well, okay, fine. And then I'm going to just go for mine then. Y'all cheating, y'all lying. Oh, well, y'all stealing. Okay. That's what's happening. And again, their solution is just to bring in more race soldier officers. Put them in your grocery stores and many other places around the city and most of the other businesses in the area. They're going to learn from this move. Because again, as I explained earlier, the rules, the laws in many areas, the laws changed so that the store security could not unalive people and delete people for stealing a pack of chips or whatever they were walking out not paying for. Again, should they be stopped? Absolutely. I have no problem with that, but it's supposed to be a measured response. Not, oh, this is my WWE debut dropping from the turnbuckle on people's necks. No. And then if I do that and they actually turn around and bust me in my grill and a real squab jumps off and I'm getting dealt with. I'm catching it. This person that was shopping without paying is beating the brakes off of me, the security. Well, now I got to defend my life. I'm scared for my life. Now I get to pull my power tool. Bang. All over a box of crackers, a package of rice, some shoes, you name it. Right? So, for many of my white brothers and sisters that's listening, if you still made it this far, a lot of y'all go, well, we got to do something. We can't just let people going in and shopping without paying and doing all of this stuff. You know, okay, slow your roll. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. As I've said many times here at One Brothas Mind, over and over, the race of people that are being economically starved and moving into survival mode by shopping without paying, the race of those people doesn't matter. It's the poverty that's the driving force, not the race. To my so-called white listeners, a lot of y'all, I already know, y'all still got it in your blood. It's in there. Y'all got that old Native American disease. I forget the name of it. The Native American said y'all have. Y'all just can't get past y'all racism. But let me help you. On your screen, riddle me this, white brothers and sisters. What did y'all do during the Dark Ages and Middle Ages in Europe when y'all were being economically starved? I'll wait. Oh, it's already on the screen. Y'all went into some survival mode just like any other group of people that are being forced into poverty and started surviving and fighting and protesting. No? On your screen. Let's quickly look at what happened during the Dark Ages and medieval times. Why do they call them the Dark Ages and medieval times? Now, when you look these up, they try to use a lot of those fudge words and the the books and scientific achievements and things slowed down. No. What happened? Why they were really called the Dark Ages and medieval times is warfare during the medieval period was incredibly furious. When they weren't being slaughtered by arrows raining down from the sky, soldiers were hacked and pounded to death by swords, axes, and hammers. Medieval violence was sparked by everything from social unrest, just said protest, food and resource shortages, and military aggression to family feuds and rowdy students. Basically anything would set them off. But it was fear and shortages, or the fear of shortages, right? Widespread fear of diverse range of dangers, imagined or factual. Let that sink in, family. Widespread fear of diverse range of dangers. Imagine, just stuff they made up in their head, or factual dangers, was a quite common experience for medieval people. Some of these collective fears still impact our modern time today, such as fear of war, resource shortages, violence, fear of monsters and strange creatures, fear of crime and natural disasters. Some of y'all, don't that describe a whole bunch of our white brothers and sisters today? But that was how they was back in medieval times, right? During the Dark Ages. But fear of imagined or factual dangers such as war, resource shortages, violence, fear of monsters and strange. What did we been talking about? The aliens are here, right? Fear of crime and natural disaster. These are the things. It's fear that has been being the primary driver and motivation for the Dark Ages and medieval times, and even a lot of the satanic medieval type things that are now happening every day in the U.S. especially. Right? Yeah. So, my white brothers and sisters, it's a human response. If you put a human being in a position of lack, of poverty, where they become fearful that they can't survive, most human beings are going to respond and move into survival mode, just like y'all did and y'all still do to this day. So stop with the racism and white supremacy. Stop that. Take that somewhere else. Not here at One Brothas Mind. Why? Because here at One Brothas Mind, we give you the information and facts you need. So smash the like button, share this report on all your social media with all your peoples. All right? Okay, so what's a few of the potential solutions to this? Well, there's a few on your screen, family. Especially there in Atlanta, y'all got to start, if you haven't already, the writing it's been on the wall. Y'all got to start learning and relearning how to live independently as much as possible, especially in regards to providing your food. So much so that you don't find need to have to go to their so-called grocery stores, prisons, to get stuff. The less you got to go there to get those things, the better off you're going to be. Do you see that, family? Okay? Now, some of y'all may argue, well, we can vote this person in, vote this. It doesn't matter who you vote in or who you vote out. Every new mayor and governor, they all still running the same hustle with the corporations and businesses of your town. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. It ain't nothing new. And they just been lying to y'all or you the whole time. That's all. But do everything you can, family, to move yourself to being as independently producing your own food for your family as you possibly can. Okay? Because, this police station thing is going to happen. Whether, you guys in Atlanta decide to boycott that store. And that's kind of hard because the Walmart there that's going to do this, it's already in a food desert. It's the only or the primary source for actual food resources itself. So if y'all boycott it and it goes back and closed down, y'all can say, yeah, we got them. We showed them. Now your food desert area or radius gets even bigger because that Walmart is no longer there. Do you see how they're doing it? The reality is there should be 2 or 3 or 4 different grocery stores in that same area. But again, a part of the whole plan. They've been planning it for years. They slowly closed all the other grocery stores in an area, didn't they? And they left it down to just one Walmart. They did that on purpose. So they have this kind of control over the community. You basically have to accept and put up with whatever type of freedoms being taken away from you. Put up with whatever type of roundabout prison type, borderless prison type system, armed race soldiers right there that you gotta go back, walk past them with your shopping basket. You gotta put up with all of that. That's the environment you gotta live in just to go get food as you have been for years. Like I said, family, one of the best moves you can make is start to, if you haven't already, increase your independent living and food production on your own for you and your family. Okay? So you don't have to go to that store either at all or as much, because at some point you're going to get tired of going in trying to keep getting a basket of commissary. At some point, at least you should. Okay, fam? So y'all let me know what y'all think. I mean, this is what you want to be subject to in your food desert, and it's coming. It's going to move all around the country, because Walmart's doing it here. They're going to start doing it at a bunch of them. And now you going down the chip aisle, and you got a race soldier following, ready to just, at the blink of an eye, unalive you. Just trying to get groceries. Yeah. There it is, family. Y'all let me know what y'all think on this in the comments. What solution? How are they going to respond to this? Again, if they boycott it, the store's just going to close again. Then they ain't got no store in the area. So y'all tell me what y'all think the solutions are to this. Let me know in the comments. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory, and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.